Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And, what a weekend of loss when you think about people that passed away. We're pouring one out. So as Case said, when he went to Alpine Valley for the Noah Khan show that eventually got canceled, and there's no cell service up there, he thought pretty much the biggest news of the weekend was just that Richard Simmons died.
Yeah, that was the last bit of breaking news that I saw until about 9:30-ish that night when I finally got cell service again.
There was a lot of stuff.
I was like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this.
And you hadn't seen my Renaissance Fair costume.
This is true.
Well, that's pivotal.
I
mean,
know. That was the breaking news I was talking about.
I know.
Should have set up some kind of a separate land like network so she could see that picture.
It was very creative in case I hadn't seen it yet.
It was amazing. So Richard Simmons passed away Saturday, just a day after his 76th birthday. He was famous, of course, for being that fitness guru, sweating to the oldies, what put him on the map in 1988.
He's the best.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. His whole story was he was an obese child and turned his life around at 16 when someone left a note on his car saying, "Dear Richard, you're very funny, but fat people die young. Please don't die." Somebody at 16 years old put a note on his car that said that.
Oh.
And he certainly went in and changed his life, and then he changed other people's lives by he saved thousands of lives, I would say, by those videos. He was cheesy, and people used to rip on him and make fun of him all the time.
This is the best. I just love happy people.
He was always happy.
Spreading joy, helping. He was awesome. And I don't know if you know this, but it was like 3 months ago he posted something, and it scared everybody because he's talking about, I forget the wording of the post verbatim, but it was something along the lines of like, hey, I'm dying type of thing.
Yep.
But the concept was, we're all dying. I want everyone to live like we're all headed towards death. And how eerie that just like 3 months later, it was just so sad.
The exact quote was that he put out in March, said, "I have some news to tell you. Please don't be sad. I am ... dying."
Yes.
And then he said that part that you said after that,
Yes.
too.
We all are. Like, we're all always one day closer. So just to enjoy, you don't know when it's your last, just like one of those messages, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it is really sad. And then he passed away not long after.
The weird thing is that Pauly Shore is planning a biopic. Is it biopic or biopic?
Biopic.
Oh, biopic, yeah.
Pauly Shore is going to be Richard Simmons?
But think about it. Look at Pauly Shore. He could do it.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, but for a second, I thought you meant like
Pauly D?
Pauly from Jersey Shore. And I'm like, well, I can't see that at all.
I kind of could see that too, but Pauly Shore, definitely better. Take a look at Pauly Shore and picture him with the hair and everything. He could easily do that. And I think Richard Simmons got upset at that. Or I remember there was some kind of contention in not wanting to go through with it or something. But Pauly Shore was doing it as an honor. He likes him.
Yeah, I mean, the last decade of Richard Simmons' life was very odd because even for me in my life, growing up, Richard Simmons was around. He was very accessible and very much in front of the camera. And then the last 10 years, he retreated from public life, and people had thought he died. People, at one point claimed he was getting gender reassignment surgery, and he denied that. He spoke out, saying that wasn't the case. But no one really saw Richard Simmons for the last 10 years of his life, and it seemed like whenever he was in the news, it was either expressing frustration at Pauly Shore or denying claims that he was dead or that he was undergoing an operation or something like that.
He's like, can I retire?
Yeah, he just wanted to sit and relax, basically.
Good Lord.
He was 76. I'm saying I wish he lived longer than 76. People should live longer than 76 now. But yeah, he died in his sleep. And
it was a good run.
So, a good run. And like I said, he probably saved thousands of people's lives by just the awareness of working out and trying to get healthy.
And brought joy to way more than that. So he's awesome.
I will say that I never tried to lose weight because of him, and I enjoyed him. So like you just said.
Well, that seems like a win-win for you.
Well, this one...
Happy didn't shove that message down your throat. That's good.
I'm not trying to say that's right. I'm just saying, the second death that happened over the weekend, this one really hit me. Shannon Doherty passed away from Beverly Hills 90210 in Charm. She's been fighting cancer for 8-9 years. She was only 53 years old. And for me, like Beverly Hills 90210, which I don't think, did either of you watch that show? I'm obviously older than both of you.
I'm very aware of it, but no, I didn't watch it, even though I am super aware of it.
Oh,
Brian, if you remember during my Mallrats review, which Shannon Doherty is in, you had to explain what Beverly Hills 90210 was to me.
Yes, I forgot about that.
I completely forgot.
But
I didn't know what it was.
But you do know her from Charmed, right?
I know her from Charmed because I love Charmed. That is a great show.
With Alyssa Milano.
Who she beefed with the entire time, and not to distract from Shannon Doherty, but Alyssa Milano released a statement yesterday making Shannon Doherty's death all about her, being very Alyssa Milano about it.
Oh,
it's very
God.
odd. It's just par for the course for Alyssa Milano.
Is she the one who wanted to GoFundMe for her rich Beverly Hills? Got it. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah,
She had,
yeah.
she had, in case,
Check it in.
just so we know what Kenzie's saying, she had a GoFundMe for her. We put her in the piece of garbage madness, actually.
And she did very well.
Think she's gonna make it again this year for that?
She basically started a GoFundMe for her child to go play travel baseball when clearly she's in Beverly Hills, and I don't like to count on other people's money.
No, famously.
But my guess is she had 10 grand laying around, and then she went to the Super Bowl and had premium seats with her son.
Got like the 50-yard line,
Well,
yeah.
they did so good on the GoFundMe, they were able to bring the baseball kids even more places.
I'd like to start a GoFundMe. This broke my heart, though, really did, because that show for me as a kid, like Beverly Hills 90210, and then Luke Perry died, God, I guess it's about 7 years ago, also
Yeah.
died young. They were the love interest on the show. He was dreamy. People forget or don't know, they used to go to like malls to do appearances, and 20,000 people would show up, and they'd shut down the mall, and they'd have to get like the National Guard to come in. That's what Beverly Hills 90210 was. That's what it was, that level. And it's hard to be get that kind of attention today because everybody's kind of famous today, right? With social media. But like back then, you were like a legitimate star. Like Luke Perry and her were legitimate
You were either a
stars.
star or you weren't. Now there's a lot of middle ground.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, I mean, people know you.
I got like
There's a lot of that.
I got 75 followers. I'm kind of a star. I got 75 people. Yeah.
Are the star of their life.
Yeah. Yeah. And then finally, another one. This is one I was curious about with both of you two that would know who this person is. Do you know who Dr. Ruth Westheimer was?
I'm once again familiar.
Yeah.
Because of Loveline. I know what it is, but again, not something that I like sat down and listened to.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been a love line if it wasn't for Dr. Ruth. And she was on this radio station back in the day. She was on like every
wow.
She was on like every rock station syndicated of a sex talk show at night. Again, when I was a little kid listening to this, it was, even Dr. Drew has had her on his show many times in the last decade because his respect for her. And Case, I don't think you know anything about it, right?
I like to consider myself to be pretty well versed in pop culture. That was before my time, but I don't know who this is at all.
Here's her talking. I tried to find, these clips were not clean.
Oh, really?
She was dirty.
Okay, so wait, she did what? Like a sex talk column?
Well, no, it was a call-in radio show.
Okay.
It was just like Loveline.
Loveline
Okay.
is big.
Yeah, but she wasn't on Loveline. But it was just like Loveline. It was just like that before. It was pre-Loveline. And she had a radio show and a TV show eventually. And the funny thing is, I found out when looking up on her, she was actually a sniper in the Israeli military.
What?
Huh. I didn't know that.
And she was like, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about...
Yeah. By the way, she was 96 when she passed away this weekend. And she was born in Germany, so she had this accent. And when you listen to it on the radio when you were a kid listening to it and talking about sex, now this is about the cleanest clip I found. I forgot how really dirty she was talking about, all kinds,
Which she was
sex.
trying to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
She's trying to help you.
Here's one clip from Dr. Drew's show she was on talking about what to do in the bedroom.
I hope that every time you make love, before that, you are going to watch some explicit sexual movie. Close your bedroom door. Don't let the children watch. And then I have something else to tell you. Get your wife to buy the 3 volumes of Shades of Grey. Let her read it first, then you read it. And you can't let boredom be in your bedroom.
This is like your grandma talking about sex.
If my grandma had a thick German accent,
Yeah.
too, that's terrifying.
Yeah, the show was amazing.
I feel like you have to do it with that language.
Well, I feel like I'm under command to.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice.
Go in a deep dive of how graphic she got. And that was on Q101 back in the day. That was on a lot of rock stations around the country. She had like every city she was on.
How was she qualified to do that? What do you think led her to that position?
She's a doctor.
Officially? Like, really?
Yeah, she was really a doctor.
Okay, all right.
And a sniper in the Israeli military. She was both of those. But yeah, she was a psychologist, a doctor of psychology and sex therapy or sex help.
And she could snipe you.
That's right, both those things. Rest in peace, Dr. Ruth.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We just poured one out for some people that we like, Richard Simmons, Shannon Doherty, and Dr. Ruth. But now we got to pour one out for an event in Chicago that's no longer going to happen. And this is upsetting because somebody that works here, a guy named Sean works here, had already gotten approved to do this. Went through the whole process. You got to have to be interviewed and show your experience level, and he got approved. And another listener who knew what I was going to talk about here, Angela checked in from Round Lake, and she also got approved to be in the swim. So she was going to represent Round Lake.
A swim in Round Lake? What is this?
No, it's in the Chicago River. So remember we talked about that like about, 6 months ago, where there was going to be this huge swim in the Chicago River to benefit ALS. And they haven't done it in like 50 years. And they were going to let, I think, 300 people. Maybe.
I remember it was limited because you're trying to figure out how to get in.
Because I wanted to get in for a little good old-fashioned radio stunt.
I actually knew somebody, so I'm like, I'm not going to do it, but I can get you in the river.
Yeah. And now it turns out, they applied for the permit June 13th for the swim, which was after they announced this swim in the Chicago River. And now the city has denied the permit for the open water swimming event, saying, it's safety concerns. Isn't that? A thing where 150 boats go up and down every day.
Well, that's why you don't swim in there. There's 150 boats going up and down. You don't want to be in the water when that happens.
Well, they would have blocked it off, but also there's a chance the water's not perfectly clean. Slight chance.
It's an interesting choice.
Well, it's funny because I talked to a guy who works here, Sean, who was going to be in it. He's a scholarship swimmer from Ohio State. And he told me, he asked a friend of his about that, saying, is the Chicago River, is it clean with all that stuff going on there? And he goes, you'd be fine swimming on the water, on top of it, or even a little bit below the water.
On top of it? What are you, Jesus?
At least swimming on the water or going a few feet under. But if you happen to go low enough to touch the bottom, that's where you'd probably...
Wouldn't that only be if you died? How deep is the Chicago River?
It's not as deep as you think. You could probably touch the bottom.
No, let me Google it.
I think you could get in there. I think you could get down there. Hold your breath, go down.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. How deep? 21 feet? You're not going 21 feet down.
You could go 21 feet down.
No, I can't.
You want to go try it right now?
No. You can't go, because then you got to go 21 feet back up to breathe. That's That's a round trip total of 42 feet without breathing.
Haven't you ever been like one of those Olympic-sized pools and the deep end is like 20 feet deep and you go down there, you throw a penny down there to go get it and come back up?
That's terrifying because I can't even, listen, I was in our neighborhood community pool the other day and I carry the baby in the pool.
Yeah.
And I can't go in the deep end. I can't go in the 5 foot because then I'm underwater. Then I only have my forehead out. And my husband kept going over there and I'm like, I can't hold the baby and be over here. Like, you don't understand.
Was it your ponytail just above the water? That was there.
I can't hold the baby and I can hold him like in the Lion King out and about, but I can't just casually be over here.
Well, there's some we used to always do that. And eventually at some point you can't make it if you don't take the right enough breath. But I used to be able to go 20 feet down. So that you don't want to touch the bottom of the Chicago River. That's when you get probably like bubonic plague instantly, and you probably just disintegrate before you make it to the top.
Well, do you ever see the videos on TikTok of the people that go magnet fishing in old rivers? Because that's what I want to do with the Chicago rivers. They throw a giant magnet down to the bottom of the water, and they pull out like old safes and old guns and body parts and anything magnetic. That's what I want to do with the Chicago River, especially now because they're not going to be swimming in there.
I can't imagine what would come out of the bottom of the Chicago River.
I don't think if the swim's not getting approved, I don't think they'll let you go magnet fishing. I don't know what kind of license that is.
Well, we already know you need fishing licenses in Chicago.
That's right, and it's a federal crime if you fish without a license, apparently.
I want to see you apply.
Prison forever.
I want to see you apply for a magnet fishing license.
I'm gonna raw dog it. I'm gonna go rogue. I'm gonna magnet fish, and hopefully I don't get sent to Guantanamo afterwards.
Is that still open?
It is.
Guantanamo Bay? Yeah, pretty popular. Unfortunately.
It's like a resort now.
Yeah, really popular. Do you guys remember the movie The Guardian? Never mind, I'm not going to case. Brian, do you remember the movie The Guardian with Ashton Kutcher?
Vaguely. I don't think I saw it, but I remember the trailer.
So it's a swimming movie.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Kevin Costner's in it.
Yes. And it's based on becoming, I forget, where you jump out of helicopters and you save people, like a rescue swim movie. And I watched the movie when I was very young, okay? I was probably 7. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. This looks badass.
Good Lord.
Okay? I was like, I want to do that. And there's a scene where he sits at the bottom of an Olympic pool and he holds his breath till his nose bleeds.
Yes.
To prep for this.
Yep.
And I used to hold my breath and time it out with the movie to see if I could do it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't make it to him getting to the bottom of the pool to start his breath holding challenge. With a breath. I'm like, well, we're there. And then he sat and did it. And I'm like, I'm out. Like, we got to go. Let's go up, bro. Like, let's make it.
Why? First off, it's actually a really great movie.
It is really good.
Probably not a lot of people saw. It just didn't seem like it was a big movie.
Ashton Kutcher is actually very good in it.
Yeah.
It's a very serious role.
And Kevin Costner's great in it too.
Yes.
What? I'm very curious that you watching that made you think I want to do that.
Because
Which is jump out of helicopters in the ocean and save people's lives.
I thought that would be so awesome. You
just told me you can't go to the deep end at 5 feet.
Okay, but I was young and I thought I could improve. I thought I could get better. I obviously didn't get better, which is kind of a bummer.
That's a buzzkill.
But I thought that looked so cool. I was like, oh, I love like heights. So I was like, I'd love to jump out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
At the time, I really enjoyed like going to water parks and stuff. I was 7. I'm like, this is ideal. And then how badass to save a bunch of people. I didn't take into account that I wouldn't be capable of any of it.
Well, that's okay.
But
you got to dream big.
I thought it looked really cool.
Well, it is. I can't believe once you said it, I knew the movie, and it got very emotional.
I mean, them jumping out of these helicopters into these huge waves. Tell me what looked more badass than that.
Yeah, well, walking into the deep end with 5 feet of water.
I know, I can't do
That's
it.
pretty badass.
Sucks.
Do you think you've gotten better at holding your breath now?
No, I'm really bad at holding my breath.
I want to know which of the three of us can hold their breath for the longest.
Do you want to time it?
Kinda, yeah.
Let's put a stopwatch on.
Wait, I mean live on the air right now?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do it live? I thought we would just take. Okay,
I'm pretty good. I just came off pneumonia.
Are you good?
I just came off pneumonia, but
Don't hit me with excuses already. It's so annoying. We haven't started.
I'm spitting facts.
We haven't started.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good, except just so you know, because I would have won. Okay, do you want me to time it right now? Or do
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Are we really going to do this right now?
I think so, because I want listeners to guess who they think could win.
Yeah, who do they think could win? Who could hold their breath the longest?
Should we do that and then come back and let people gamble for like 5 to 6 minutes?
Because
And then
we can give away an M. Night Shyamalan movie pass to somebody who guesses the correct winner.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. We still have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
you go see
fun.
the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. Text in, who do you think can hold their breath the longest? Brian?
I could be in the movie The Guardian.
No. Forget about that.
I want to be in the movie.
Okay, so it's either just text in Brian, Kenzie, or Case on who do you think can hold their breath the longest. And then when we come back here at 8:20, we're going to hold our breath and someone's going to die on the air.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Well, it's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and this is truly one of those deciding factors in the show to see who's the best. Now, we talked about the Chicago swim getting canceled on the Chicago River, and Kenzie brought up the movie The Guardian, which amazingly I've seen as well. There's a great movie about guys that the Coast Guard that dive into the ocean to save people, and she said she wanted to do that when she was a kid and saw the part of the movie where Kevin Costner, I believe it was, or was Ashton Kutcher?
No,
there?
Ashton Kutcher sits at the bottom of one of those Olympic-sized swimming pools until his nose bleeds. That's
Holding
how
his
long.
breath.
And I was like 7, and I've never forgotten that scene. And I'm like, I could do that, and I can't. I do not have it in me.
Might be about to do that now. So Case brought up the proposal that we have these M. Night Shyamalan movie passes, and we'll all hold our breath and see who can hold the longest. And boy, a lot of texts on guessing who they think can hold the longest. Brian, Kenzie, or Case hold their breath. So
One person voted Brian because they'll cheat, which couldn't be a more accurate thing to say.
how can I cheat at holding breath?
You could just breathe through your nose, but I'm going to be able to tell. If I see a nostril flare, I'm going to throw my drink at your face if I think you're cheating.
My nostrils flare naturally. Just in.
That's what they say about
Yeah.
you. Have you seen Brian? Look at his
They're
nostrils
just flaring all over the place.
What did you tell us doctors said to you during the commercial break? We were going over the rules for the hold your breath contest. What did you say?
I've been to a physical, and they do an air test of your lungs, and a doctor said to me once, "You have amazing lungs. You're gifted."
I honestly, you drive me insane.
These are just facts.
No doctor has ever pulled you aside to compliment your lungs.
It's 100% true.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I know we have doctors that listen. I guarantee no doctor has ever said that to a patient ever. Hey, man, I just got to say, your lungs are incrable.
Maybe
did
if they beat lung cancer and they're like, your
Listen.
lungs look amazing now.
I'm 6'4" and a quarter. I've never smoked, and that's what they are. They're long, healthy, lean
They're
lungs.
long.
Now listen.
Your lungs are long. You're packing a big old lung.
I want to verify I'm coming off pneumonia.
Uh-huh.
And that
Okay.
attacks your lungs. I had an infection in my lung where we're competing with right now.
You cannot, in one breath, compliment your incredible lungs, and the other breath, give a reason why your lungs won't make it through this challenge.
That would be like us doing the 100-yard dash, and you had a boot on, and you said, like, don't worry about the boot. You know what I mean?
You don't have pneumopnea anymore. If you currently had pneumonia.
I'll probably be in recovery for 6 or 7 more years.
My God.
This is like
I'm going to say weeks. You just throw in years.
Pneumonia is a deadly disease.
This is like Kurt Schilling's bloody sock game for you. It's the same vibe.
It's the Jordan flu game.
Brian has set it up that if he wins, it makes sense because he has the world's best lungs, according to his local doctor. And if he loses, it's not fair because he did have pneumonia once.
No, I had it recently. Just some weeks ago, I got through it. So you're exactly correct. I have a win-win situation here.
Oh, my God.
So here's what we're going to do. By the way, I just took some deep breaths to warm up in that last commercial, and I got dizzy.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I am. I shouldn't be doing this.
Wow.
I shouldn't be competing.
Well, you're risking it all for the people. This
How
is
about
what
you
we do
sit
for you.
down? I mean, just sit, because I don't need your big old head knocking into the board and launching off socks.
So here's how we're going to do it.
You're going to fall in a bloody ear.
I can't have it. I can't have it.
It's like when I fell over at Weber in the lobby the other day, and I had a 30-second fall hitting things.
It's so big. You're going to run into me if you fall down. You're just big. It's like a tree. Sit down.
All right, so here's how we're going to do it. A lot of people guessed on the text line. In case we'll give a random texter who chose whoever wins the tickets for the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. And then we'll all hold our breath at the same time. But through the honor system, no cheating.
Yeah.
We trust everybody right here.
Okay, I want to know how long you think you're going to be able to do it.
I think I can do it in a minute.
Really?
Yep, I think I can do a minute.
God, you do have big lungs.
If Brian can do a minute, I can do a minute 15.
Okay, I think I can do 12 seconds. You don't understand. I love air so much. I hate when I don't have it. It really bothers me.
Kenzie goes to air buffets on the
I
weekends.
love air. I breathe more than I sound like a little dog. I'm like I love breathing.
Since you can't tell who's out, so as soon as you're out, like you'll hear this big like, pff, we'll say our name. So if I go like pff, Brian, then I'm out. And then it's just Case and Kenzie competing.
Okay.
Do you hear that? If you're a thump, that's
you
me.
hear Brian die.
If it sounds like a Rottweiler's panting into the microphone, it's just Brian.
Oh, my God.
All right, so here we go. And we're going to use, since we talked about the movie The Guardian, we'll use this deep introspective music as the under while we're holding our breaths.
The guy who voted for you said, can I change my vote? Brian's starting to sound like a little bitch.
Hey, I'm just like laying it out there, as good champions do. I'd rather impress than disappoint, so I'm setting the stage.
There you go.
That's why I'm letting you know I won't be good at this. I skewed no one to vote for me. No one.
All right, so are we ready?
Okay. I can't look at you guys.
I know, I'm going to start
look at
laughing
me.
too.
Don't
Hold
look
on.
at me.
Okay, I'm going to look down. Remember, say your name as soon as your breath's out.
Can we
so
get
we
like
know.
some music or something?
So here it is.
Is it be quiet the whole time?
Here's the music from that movie, The Guardian, about those guys that save lives in the ocean.
It's like what we're doing.
All right, guys, so you ready?
You want to count down from 3?
I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then hold your breath.
You have to take a deep breath first.
Yeah.
Everyone get their chipmunk cheeks.
I'm like nervous.
I'm super nervous.
So much is on the line.
We're so competitive. This is
Because a lot of
stupid.
people voted for me regardless of what I said. They're all going to lose because of me.
All right, here we go.
Okay, go.
Here's the race. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so, oh boy. Brian's turning purple. We are deep into this at this point. Brian's in a squat position, pounding the table. Kenzie looking confident. Brian's starting a shade up.
You idiot! You idiot! You ruined it! That's a fault. This is not a fair competition. It's done.
I heard the same joke.
This doesn't. It wasn't about you. It doesn't count now.
But it makes it funnier that it's about you. I laugh at you way more than I laugh at me.
That's terrible. It is an invalid contest.
Did we time that or did we forget?
I got it.
What
It
was
was 52 seconds.
I lasted 52 seconds?
You did.
That's what he said. I can't believe it.
All right, Kenzie wins.
Oh my God.
That was BS.
Wow.
I don't like it.
That was like when Brock Lesnar used to fight in the UFC, turned purple as soon as the fight started.
You were quivering. Okay.
I told you the pneumonia. My lungs are 7 years we do this again. See who wins.
We'll Wait, what was that?
7 years until we do it again?
That's when my lungs will regenerate properly.
Oh, my God.
Congratulations, Kenzie wins.
Wow. Okay, now we got to pick a winner.
I'll select somebody on the text line. I'll randomly select somebody who texted in Kenzie, and they will get M. Night Shyamalan passes. I feel dizzy, and I was out first.
What time?
He was out at 22 seconds.
22.
Yeah.
I guess a minute 15.
I know. I maybe would have made it. I just stopped because of you.
I think you should go jump out of a helicopter in Lake Michigan and try to save
I
somebody.
obviously could have lived out my dream, and I had no idea.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So I just want to remind you, every day this week at this time, we're going to be holding our breath for the movie passes, the greatest radio contest of all time.
No Air Mondays.
Oh, my God. No Air Mondays. We just held our breath to see who could hold the longest for those tickets for the M. Night Shyamalan movie. And
It sounds ridiculous without being part of the previous conversation.
I
We
hope
didn't
you-
just decide to randomly do this like last night.
Yeah, we're not 3-year-olds. Let's hold our breath and see who can hold it the longest.
I can't believe the amount of people who also played though. Everyone's texting in like, I smoke and I lasted longer than the rest. People are holding their breath in their cars. Tommy texted in and said, thankfully I typed Chase and not Case because Case sucked. And then Bevon wrote, Brian is a bitch. Everyone's so mad if they voted for the wrong person.
708 checked in. I should have never chose the dude with little bitch arms. That's Case.
If you're new here, I'm Case. I have little bitch arms.
Yeah, I mean, there's no...
It's an epidemic.
I just realized that Kenzie cheated, though. Because 815 said those Lamaze classes really helped out with the pregnancy classes you took, your breathing.
The doctor just told me I had the world's best lungs already. That's the problem. Sorry, Brian.
They were so long.
Yeah,
God.
I have really long lungs. I have a long torso.
I still am. This is under protest on Wikipedia in the championships of holding breath. It will say that because Case made me laugh, and I had a little bit of left in there to go.
Well,
Were you near the end, Kenzie? And that be honest.
I have to be honest. I think I could have went about another 30 seconds.
30?
I think I could have done like 30 more. I was feeling like I'd like to breathe, but I wasn't. You were shaking.
I was definitely done. And pneumonia.
Uncontrollably.
I think the pneumonia damaged my lungs permanently. Now I'm thinking.
I felt pretty good, but like I knew like I would like to breathe though. It was how I felt, but I wasn't like shaking yet.
Yeah.
So I think I could get say another 10 to 15 seconds to get to shaking, and then I think I could have shook for 10 to 15 seconds.
Well, listen, it's in protest, but congratulations.
Thank you.
You did a good job.
You can't even just say I won.
No, I can't. No, I
I'm
can't do
a
it.
cheater because I was able to breathe when I had a
I'm
baby.
just saying that I was messed with, and I don't appreciate it, and I will never look at Case the producer the same way again.
You were turning a shade of color I've never seen before.
Also, I also heard the joke.
yeah,
You said
true.
a joke.
It
He
was
didn't
about
whisper
me,
a joke
though.
in your ear.
I can't help it. It was about me. Anyway, someone won some nice tickets for the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Trap.
That's right. Congrats to 708. Please text me back. I have asked for your info. Sarah in Franklin Park.
Now, should we do a different kind of physical contest tomorrow at this time for the tickets?
Oh my! It's like Olympics.
Yeah, we should do that all week. We should do a different physical contest. We'll do push-ups. We can do the 100-meter dash or something.
In the hallway around the desk?
It's in city of Chicago. It's a big
Maybe
city.
like a 2-meter dash.
Andy just texted in and said we should have a staring contest.
That's a great one. That is a great one. We're going to do a staring contest tomorrow at 8:30 for M. Night Shyamalan movie passes.
These are great radio
'cause I
contests.
can't have Brian that close to my face.
I can be far away with a stare.
No, but you're gonna cheat because this is where you like blow in my face while we're playing. I don't want to play with you.
You got to hit her with a sledgehammer again?
Exactly. We need something less dirty.
Let's see. We heard, I'm going to blow in her face and then hit her with a sledgehammer in the face.
One of those happened. In fairness.
All right. Well, more tickets tomorrow. Stay here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.